morning, viewers, and welcome to your number one breakfast show on television, Inside Nigeria. My name is Winifred VANGUARD. It's good to be hosting you on today's Thursday, April 6th, 2023 edition of the program. As you can see, I have with me in the studio. He is a political scientist. He's also a public affairs analyst, Olamileko Adebolare. So it's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Good morning, and a very good morning to us. Thank you.
Oh yes, as you can see, just before the camera zoomed on us, we were just having a quick tete-a-tete on some of the stories on today's papers, and we were talking about the newly elected, the rep-elect Ekene Adams banned to be prosecuted over assault in referee. And of course, how do you see that? There are some things that are just beyond you.
Exactly.
Physically assaulting a referee.
Maybe he was expecting that the referee will do justice to the game, and the referee was not doing as he expected. So he
got
bounced
physical.
on him. But it is not expected of someone like him, especially someone that is already a public figure in the Nigerian space. So what do you expect from him when it comes to the National Assembly? Will you be throwing chairs?
I know we saw that a lot during the
the 8th Assembly.
Eighth assembly.
So we don't expect such one with a very low psychological intel about how to be able to collaborate or relate with other people.
It's really, really sad. You see, this unfortunately, these are some of the leaders we have ruling us in today, and one cannot begin to wonder why things are still remain the same the way they are as it was in the beginning and now forever. Anyway, back to the papers we have on our menu this morning. And of course, as usual, we start off with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership. Leadership is leading with a story on post-election crisis. It says, post-election crisis, conflicting Edo FCT court orders unsettle Labour Party. Conflicting Edo FCT court orders unsettle Labour Party. That is post-election crisis. Fate of National Chairman Abure hangs in the balance. Court injunctions cripple party activities. Ebonyi Labour Party governorship candidate accuses Abure of forgery. How do you see that? How? I don't know, why can't the party just put its hands together, given the fact that they have a case, election tribunal, that will soon take up. Why is this so?
It's expected of political parties that don't.
You see as action of few columnists to destabilize the party?
I don't think it is the creation of the party themselves, the political parties members, the actors in the political parties. You can see one of the cases, forgery against the chairman. One thing that normally happens before the primaries and after the primaries of political parties is that many things happen underneath that the press, the media will not be viewed to. But immediately it happens, maybe aftermath of that particular incident, then we begin to see reaction. And one of them is court case against the party chairman, national chairman, that says that.
Why so soon? Now, because many people are beginning to wonder, is it just that because the party came into limelight and was able to secure some seats in these past conducted, just recently concluded general elections, that now the party can no longer stay together?
It's not even that. Even Abere, the national chairman of Labour Party, didn't come to the convention of Labour Party to become the national chairman. It was just an peak as a result of what happened to the former Salam.
There was also one a factional leader. The case was in court.
Before the Nazi court. And it all boils down to the nonchalant attitude of NLC, because Nigerian Labour Congress is the owner of the party. But because they care less, they don't want to spend their money on the political party. That's why they allow any sort of people to come in and hijack the party and do what they want. And what has happened to Abure right this time around is as a result of what he must have done against some party members. Because a lot of people have hope, a lot of people join Labour Party and they put their money into Labour Party to get ticket or to get nominated. By the end of the day, it was the most what I call the people that have the biggest bag of money to give out. And those are the people that get the ticket of the Labour Party. And that's what I'm trying to play out at this point in time. Because as it is now, it's all about forgery, it's all about poorly nominated candidates who are not supposed to be on the ballot of Labour Party at the end of becoming Labour Party candidates and who have already won the election. So those are the cases that are now taken to court to challenge.
Is there some names were substituted?
Exactly. There's one particular one, the one in Lagos.
Yes,
the NSAS lawyer is already in court with them, and he's also fighting not just Labour Party national chairman, including the one of Labour Party chairman in Lagos. They're asking that the woman should be removed, and that's what they are looking for.
Wow. But why is that so? If not that maybe the party came into limelight, we wouldn't have had this kind of scenario.
Exactly. If it has become something that nobody hear about Labour Party, no
Mm,
obedient movement in Labour Party, nobody is talking
mm.
about. But because I've seen there's something to share in Labour Party
Exactly.
right now.
Right
They have
now.
7 senators, they have 38 members of House of Reps, and they have close to more than 50 state House of Assembly
Mm,
members coming. And each of those people coming in is going to be contributing, going to be pertaining, going to be sharing loot of national cake. So people are looking for opportunity to make sure that they are also
they
part
are
and
not
parcel of
better.
it. And as it is today, nobody wants Aburo to remain national chairman of the Labour Party, or hell, he's
Mm.
going to become something else to them. So that's why they want to pull him out.
Wow. It's interesting. These are indeed interesting times. And let's see what other papers, like we discussed yesterday, made some headlines. Right now, the 10th National Assembly, they are already forming alliance from uh, permutations on which zone we have maybe the Senate president and the speakership. Like that is how the Punch newspaper captured it. New House leadership, opposition reps elect plot, opposition reps elect plot to upstage APC. New House leadership, opposition reps elect plot to upstage APC. Opposition reps elect meet form greater majority bloc to tackle APC. Group warns members against APC infiltration, targets key house positions. Be warned, 2015 Saraki Dogara actions won't be allowed. APC TEPS reps elect. How do you see that?
Definitely, APC still have the majority of the seats in the House of Reps.
Mm,
But what they are careful, the opposition is that where they are careful is that the minority leadership of each of those areas, they
mm,
don't want it to be in a way that APC will dictate it's going to
mm.
be like what
No,
happened in
but
the ninth
but
assembly.
the opposition parties, like opposition reps elect, if they come together, does the number not upstage
No,
APC
APC have
majority?
majority of the
Okay.
seats of them. And again, even the opposition they are talking about now, I mean, apart from PDP, the others are not much. The
Mm,
SDP, the Labour Party.
right.
But what they are, from our understanding, what they are trying to ensure is that they don't want to have a weak minority leader. And again, the bulk of the position they are fighting for is not the public one that we know, minority leader. They are
Mm.
fighting for chairman of committees.
Committees, oh yes.
That is
Mm,
where their own eyes is. It's not the
mm,
one that will be no, the one that will
mm,
favor the political party, because
yes.
a chairman of a committee
Mm,
has power. Imagine a Labour Party becoming having
You know
like
there are
10,
key committees.
yes,
There are
choice
strategic,
which we
yes,
call
choice
consider as juicy committees.
committees,
Imagine
yes.
Labour Party controlling like 10 juicy committees.
Mm,
What do you think will happen to the Labour Party? They will gain employment for their members. They will gain a lot of things for their people, and they will also gain reputation in terms of funding and the rest of it from them. And they also have opportunity to create more things that Labour Party members can enjoy. That's what it means. So they are not even looking at house speaker or deputy. No, the ones that are more interested is the committee chair, which is juicy for them, which is more interesting for them, where they can dictate, where they can look at the funding, the finance, the budget of those agencies and speak to them. And remember,
mm,
oversight is a big business in National Assembly.
yes,
Those
oversight
are the things
issues.
they're looking out for.
Okay. So this is the Punch newspaper. Let me just read out some of the headlines to news on the Punch today. Federal government borrows $800 million for mass transit cash transfers. Fresh promissory notes raising national debt. DMO. Ekuremadu Obasanjo begs UK court for leniency. That's what we're going to be discussing on, because some papers also have it on their cover, just like their leadership. And Benue government elect VC's Buhari vows to improve workers' welfare. Bitcoin platform with 1.5 million Nigerian users shut down. Kano driver conductor nabbed as 3 passengers die. Bono to repatriate 200,000 refugees from Niger. That is the leading stories on the Punch this Thursday. From the Punch newspaper, we move over to the Guardian. Let's see how Guardian is couching his these stories today. Neighbors feed fat on Nigeria's poorly funded inefficient seaport. Neighbors feed fat on Nigeria's poorly funded inefficient seaport. Local ports get 2 billion naira budgetary allocations in 8 years. Ports recovering with current reforms, NPA boss says. Ifere Igbo leaders tackle Mohammed over treason, post claims. Afenifere Igbo leaders tackle Mohammed over treason post claims. Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt slowing regional growth, says World Bank. Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt slowing regional growth, says World Bank. INEC an imperative of financial accountability. Opposition parties plot to produce rep speaker. All these are more on the Guardian newspaper today, Thursday, April 6, 2023. For more on the stories and inside pages as well, you can also log on to their website, www.guardian.guardian.ng. From the Guardian, we move over to the Nation. The Nation is leading with Kaduna government restates 1,288 teachers. Stories of page 8. APC moves to reconcile Adamu Mishore with Lukman. Obasanjo writes UK court over Ekuremadu. Trump denounces felony charges against him. Stories are on pages, on the inside pages of the paper. Now to the main story. Soyinka to Tinubu make power devolution priority. Soyinka to Tinubu make power devolution priority. I want Peter Obi that his supporters will make him lose the election. Still on the Nation, court suspends Labour Party national chair, secretary orders, leaders battling forgery case. I'm sad to leave Nigeria, says British High Commissioner. And of course, on the page of the paper, you can see President Muhammad Buhari with the British Deputy High Commissioner to Nigeria, Miss Gill Artise, that she's leaving. Her daughter Anya and President Muhammad Buhari during the visit of Miss Leng to the presidential villa in Abuja yesterday. It's also the similar picture we have on the cover of Leadership. Leadership has President Muhammad Buhari and outgoing UK High Commissioner to Nigeria, Catriona Lang, doing her farewell call at the presidential villa Abuja yesterday. So from Leadership, The Nation, The Punch, The Guardian, let's see Vanguard newspaper. Vanguard says DMO, why government debt is rising as LCCI orders list ways out. DMO, why government debt is rising as LCCI orders list ways out. As DMO explains why public debt is growing, LCCI advocates equity financing, other revenue strategies, higher level of fiscal discipline needed, Najima. Problems overspending, not revenue generation, Adonri. We need political will to trim size of government, CPP. Still on Vanguard newspaper, above the masthead we have other news stories. NSIA veto sign agreement for carbon avoidance removal projects. Second Niger bridge opens to traffic next month. Peter Obi describes leaked audio as fake, goes to court. Petroleum subsidy. Federal government secures $800 million World Bank fund for palliatives. Those questioning legitimacy of Tinubu's victory saw losers, APC. Soyinka plays dirty for threatening judiciary on TV. And of course, above that story, we have a strip. World Bank, Nigeria's economic growth insufficient to reduce extreme poverty. Nigeria's economic growth insufficient to reduce extreme poverty. And Obasanjo writes UK court pleads for Ekuremadu wife, extols Ekuremadu's virtues, hopes he will learn from his travail. And of course, that's what Blueprint has from this paper. It says, organ harvesting, show mercy on the Ekurimadus. Obasanjo begs UK court. Says, I cherish lawmakers' God-fearing approach to national issues. All this magnanimity of UK government bilateral relation. Now, what do you say to that?
I think when I saw this particular news yesterday, I was like, what came to my mind was first of all, how many people have Obasanjo written letters on behalf of many Nigerians that have been prison long. So we understand the angle that he is coming from as a statesman, and also the recognition, Nigerian recognition given to Ekuremadu as former Senate Deputy President and rest. But what has happened in a different countries, in different climate. They respect their law and they respect victims of circumstances that led to what Ekuremadu is facing today. But to also put it straight is that as far as UK is concerned, letter means nothing.
Yeah, but yes, but coming from an elder statesman and international recognized man like Obasanjo, don't you think? Because a situation whereby I just feel that personally, though, that Obasanjo was doing something that maybe federal government ought to have done in the first place, given the fact that the federal government they just silence, they are more on the matter. It's as if hear no evil, see no evil, hear no evil, that stuff of the thing. At least here is a high-ranking senator that has been in the Senate for since it's not since
In
democracy started,
1999, yeah.
1999, and something of this magnitude happened, and nobody's talking, no word from federal government quarters, not even reaching out to see how what's really happening there. So how do I think that it's Obasanjo's move is a right step in the right direction.
Definitely, it's not. It's a mixed reaction from people. Some people are saying the federal government is supposed to take this step, and some people are saying why would federal government take such step when someone went over to another country to go and commit a crime? That could it mean that every other Nigerian that have committed a crime in different country, the federal government must go and speak for their behalf? That's what people are reading to it. So the federal government quiet to some people is best.
And to my mind also, personally too, remember before Kuremadu embarked on that, he procured the visa for the said young man. And
Exactly.
a letter was written to, and he stated boldly his intent for that young man to go and donate. So would it be that, okay, they just allowed, granted the visa, at the end of the day, they held his hand in a risk? Because this was something that if they would have told him, no, how can you go and because it was plainly stated.
But the issue is that what
You saw the letter
yes,
to the
what
British High Commissioner.
yes, that what the UK government is playing or what they are used against him was that it was like an induced kind of an arrangement. That it wasn't the willingness of the young man to really donate his kidney, but that it was money was used, and also maybe psychological, emotional, process was also used on the young man to eventually surrender his part of the body for them. And again, we also remember that it's also part and parcel of every Nigerian to travel abroad. Maybe the young man is seen as an opportunity to also jackpot. And so those are the things. And but on the part exactly on the part of the UK government, to them, it's like it's an abuse and it's like a force.
But however you look at it, there's no way. There's a thin line between induced and voluntary donation. Because the situation whereby, okay, for instance, somebody has a kidney issue and the person comes in, and you are well off. Don't you? There's no way you will not say, oh, exactly if the person is a relation.
Exactly.
There's no way you will say, oh, let me not find you
something.
So,
but another question people asked at the time that thing was happening, why can't Okwemadu himself find one of his relatives, a blood relative, and ask them to donate instead of looking for an outside? Because those are the questions that they put out, and there was no response. I wish he had found one of the Okwemadu cousin, associate, or maybe a relation from his own family. Nobody will be raising
a family, from your wife's family,
or someone very close to them.
Operate an extended family system.
But for the Obasanjo own, it's like an hypocritical thing from Nigeria, because a lot of Nigerians have been arrested across the world that nobody is saying anything about them. Some people have even been arrested, put in prison for no just in the same UK, but nobody writes a letter. But why would you be doing it for an elite like yourself? That's what you are.
You will always
they want to protect themselves.
He's an elite person now, so that's why Obasanjo will bring himself.
But the thing is that to sum it up, is just so let's see what the UK government will say about this letter, whether it will be accepted. And we should also know that if it goes through, if any UK person have any issue in Nigeria, they can also write and we will set that person free, no matter how grievous or offense that person would have committed here. So we must look at that. And I think that is the angle that federal government is a little bit quiet. So they
but I think this letter is timely in the sense that they are not sentencing him, they are going to sentence him. That is one thing about UK and even US, yes, Western world. They first of all convict you, there another day for sentencing for you to sentence. Well, be that as it may, given the pedigree or the statue of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, one only hopes that maybe the UK government will consider it and maybe give him a lighter sentencing.
Although he is hinting on a bilateral relationship with UK. But for me, if you are hinting it on bilateral relationship of Nigeria and UK, and UK accept to free Ekurumadu, it means that if a Briton or a British man come and commit any crime here, we should be ready to free that person too. We have to look at it from down, and I think that's where the federal government is.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that I think he's just saying it, because we also had the case of Governor Igori in Delta.
So
Remember?
I know that they jailed him. He went through.
He was even extradited. Have you forgotten how he was extradited from Dubai
to the UK,
and of course Nigeria said go ahead and do it, because this same Igori then that EFCC lazy, but the use barricaded him.
Exactly.
Sometimes I just feel that Nigerians are our own worst enemies. Now, the other main story that is leading the papers, not just leading, but it's also highlighted in most of the papers today, is the $800 million World Bank facility for palliatives. And that is what THISDAY newspaper has on its cover. Let's see THISDAY newspaper. THISDAY says, fuel subsidy removal. Federal government secures $800 million World Bank facility for palliatives. Fuel subsidy removal. Federal government secures $800 million World Bank facility for palliatives. Let's have this day on our screen. To be disbursed to 50 million Nigerians. Discussions on with incoming government on modality to phase out policy. This is a lengthy one. I actually reserved this one. They said 50 million. Hope they will include. First and foremost, hope they will include you.
I don't think it will be part of it. They have a database of what they call the underprivileged.
When did they do the database?
Which database are they? They are going to. This program is going to be in consultation with Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Federal Minister of Finance. Now,
remember how the Humanitarian Affairs told us that during the lockdown that they were distributing food.
Yes,
to people that were under
lock. And they did distribute food, but the food did not get to people like us, because we also were under lock and key in our houses.
Did you see some of the videos that went by at that time? That come and see what they shared. They gave them one slice of bread, and you know, guys were playing with it. They even punched it into the air. They used
but we also
come and see what they said they are distributing. Now, seriously, how are they going to disburse this 50 million? Because to my own knowledge, I don't think there's any register of vulnerable persons.
We have the register, but the issue is that on this particular one, if you remember 2012 palliative that was also given out as a result of the fuel removal subsidy, you know how they shared it. This 50 million Nigerian doesn't mean the physically Nigerian. Association will collect. You will begin to see Nigerian Labour Congress will come, the affiliates will come, road transport workers will come. That's how they distributed that one that time. Buying buses for people, even giving them money to go, and so many associations came up. Even farmers, everybody was giving. So I think that's the same model they may want to follow, because the 50 million Nigerians will also mean different associations that will help them to distribute those money, including traditional rulers and the rest of them. But the issue is that I'm not one of those people that normally believe in this kind of thing, in the sense that it will trickle down to the people. Rather, it will be done politically. You can see what they are saying. They are expecting the incoming government. Now, the incoming government will come, either Labour Party or PDP will say, okay, let us begin to do it in a way that it is people who work for the person in government, the person that comes to power to initiate. And that's when they begin to ask for party list from the world level to the local government level to the state level. And that's where the distribution will come. Look at the empower they are doing. Look at the way they distribute. It is based on political party affiliation. And this same 50 million Nigerians will end up becoming a political party's member, and the rest will also be taken from association. And that's what association, before the different association will come on the federal government and say, our association need this, need that, and they will begin to give them that money. And that's how it is, including the one that CBN is doing through Anchor Borrower. It is through association. People get all those funds. And don't be surprised, it will also follow the same models that are going to do the distribution.
And most of them will also be how do you call it, stolen.
And don't forget, even the media too will also follow, because NUJ will ask, for newspaper proprietors will ask, or even online one, all of them will ask. They will bring all of them together and tell them how many members do you have and how they are going to do. That's how, and that's how they did it. And that's how it's going to follow. But we just hope that at the end of the day, it will really cushion the effect.
But don't you think that there's another way of doing all these things? Because at the end of the day, the money will be looted, and the other one, just like what you said, will be shared to party faithfuls and loyalists.
The only way to do it is this: all Nigerians have bank accounts. We are all vulnerable, And
that's what I'm saying. That's what I first started
and the best way to do it, check everyone, all the people that own bank account. You know the list someone has in a bank account. You can use that to target the least person that doesn't have one.
No, the second part of it is discussions on with incoming government on modality to phase out policy. Is it in his own jurisdiction to tell the incoming government, the president-elect, that, oh, see how you are going to phase out subsidy removal?
No, I don't think so. You know what is happening is there are two things tied to this subsidy removal. You see where the money is coming from. You see people that have been advising us to remove it. World Bank, IMF. Now they are now bringing that money. They want us to do it by all means. They are not giving us a cushion effect money. And that money is also borrowed money. It's not free. This 800 million is not a free money. We are still going to pay back. And how are we going to pay back? We are going to pay back when the subsidy is removed. So whatever we are making from subsidy removal, we are going to use to pay back this 800 US dollar. That is what it means. So World Bank have their own modality. They already done their research. They already know who and who the money will get to. And that's why I mentioned those people, including association or whatever they will. So that they will give them a model. They will be given a format. Then it is not left for the incoming government and the current government to look at the format that World Bank can give them and accommodate our own peculiar aspect into it. Then submit it back to the World Bank, and World Bank now back to it and say, okay, it is good like this. Because that same one they did in 2012, that is what the same way they got it. And the money they shared was also gotten from the same source like this one they were receiving today.
You got from the money.
I didn't got from the money.
As a matter of fact, just hearing that money was shared in 2012.
But we saw buses, we saw the green buses in Abuja, we saw the red buses in Abuja, which reduce transport fare. Because majorly is to cushion the effect of transport fare. And that's why I was mentioning that Road Transport Association, Independent Transport Association, all of them, including those ones that do long journey distance, all of them will be accommodated in this money that I'm going to share.
Okay, let's go on a break. We'll come back. There are so many other stories that on today's topical discussion. Don't go anywhere, just stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Welcome back to Inside Nigeria, reaching you on Leadership Television. My name is Mufadi Beko, and with me in the studio is a political scientist, is a public affairs analyst too, Olayinka Adekola.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much once again. And we have a headline story also for discussion this morning. It's on the Nation newspaper. The Nation says, Soyinka to Tinubu, make power devolution priority. Make power devolution priority.
It is quite weighty in a sense that this particular statement.
I think he also talked about restructuring.
It goes hand in hand
Yes,
with power. But just the major thing is that.
But he's talking about power devolution. Thank God we just decided to speak to the issue now. You forgot that when it's every 4 years, the constitution is always they earmark so much money, about 2 billion. For constitutional amendment. At the end of the day, they come out with resolutions which is not assented to eventually by the president, like we just saw. So how can the president-elect make power devolution a priority when at the end of the day, maybe some of the recommendations are not accepted?
A lot of recommendations have been made in the last 8 years, from
Yes.
8th Assembly to 9th Assembly. Now we're going to the 10th Assembly. Now, the last one that has been given to the President Buhari now, bit by bit. He has done some. He has not done.
They have not really done
the one that critical one. So he's done a soft one that he knows that to him, in his own opinion, it is better. Now, Tinubu will now have to look at.
Just before you continue, there was this issue when they were looking at issues, you understand, to look into. state policing.
Mhm.
President Buhari said no, and it was dropped. And I
Exactly.
was like, will he remain there forever?
Mhm. Mhm.
Your
Although,
term is 2 terms, you will go. So what happens? You cannot one just say no, you don't want state
exactly,
policing.
exactly.
However, with these just completed elections, it has actually do, dawned on me that truly Nigerians
You don't need you
don't
don't
say
need state
police
police
now.
because of the way
What
the
just happened?
exactly.
What
So,
played out. We saw how
mhm,
what governors did in their respective states.
mhm.
What happens now if they have their state
Opportunity to
police?
have a state
This
police.
exactly.
Mhm.
So I want you to speak to this devolution power because many people are canvassing for restructuring devolution of power. But how are you going to have it at the end of the day without a rancor?
I think what it has from for now, from my own understanding, it has left the realm of political jingoism in a sense that from National Assembly aspect, it's all about politics about it. Now it is now moving to the point of ethnic nationality to accept this political devolution. Because to them, it is not political devolution they are looking for, it is economic devolution of
Mm,
power,
mm,
whereby each state can control their mineral resources.
yes.
Now, if from what Soyinka is saying now, if the one they have done in 8th Assembly, 9th Assembly has collaborated with political devolution, now let's now look at the ethnic nationality. What are they going to say about economic resources control? Because that is the main angle
That is
where
the
many
main,
people are looking at,
yes, that everybody is, dancing
putting their
around
eyes on. So
it, but they don't want to really confront
don't
it head on.
confront, they can, with what Soyinka is saying now, we have political devolution already being created. There's opportunity for state government to generate electricity. It's part of the devolution. Now it's opportunity for local government to be free on
Has
their own.
President Buhari assented
It
to
has
that?
done that. All those ones have been signed. But the one that is keeping us backward is that economic resources control, which is part and parcel of this power devolution.
And the economic resources control, as you just pointed out, is come at a time that many states now are discovering so many minerals. Like for instance, Nasarawa.
Mm-hmm.
Nasarawa now
It's now oil producing state.
country. I was even saw they want to start exploration there and all this stuff. And we also saw in
Borno State, and
Borno
also in
State and
Gombe,
Gombe.
and
So they
Bauchi
have
also.
and Bauchi too.
Mm-hmm.
So these are states now. So I think it's timely. Don't you think?
It's timely, but
Because that was the fears then that it was the exclusive preserve of Niger Delta. Oh, then how are we going to survive? Because we saw what happened when the Rivers State governor went to court over this VAT issue. That VAT is supposed to be controlled by state government, not on the exclusive list. I know it's not on the exclusive list of the federal government. And Gombe, Commissioner for Finance was begging, please now, what about we
that doesn't
states
have
that
much
don't know how we're going to
but,
go? You heard it,
exactly,
it trended. I was like, wow, what kind of statement is that? So now, what happens?
What
You
happened
think
is that
everybody will now be in it for it?
very well,
He
because
insists that no.
I don't. For me, in my own understanding, with this power devolution that Supreme Court is suggesting for then to the economic resources control that most ethnic nationalists have been campaigning for. If we bring these two together, we'll achieve more. And it will be remembered, the government will be remembered for the one that really that break the genes over resource control. Because once each state can control their resources, then pay whatever you can pay to the federal government. Then you can hold the state government accountable.
Yes.
Not right now that most of us can hold them accountable, but they will quickly remove and say, okay, no, it is what we receive from the federal government. And then what about your IGR?
Yes.
They will keep moving about it.
And it has made our state governors to be lazy because nobody is putting on their taking
at all.
All they need to do is that every quarter they come to Abuja to come and collect their own. They just go pay, dispense it as if they were dispensing favors to people. All local government chairmen, the one that is nice to them, give them some just to pay workers in their domain. I mean, for how long will this go on?
And it has to change from now. If Tinubu enter and he find reason, he find understanding, he find wisdom in what Soyinka is saying. For me, power devolution, it stopped at the political level, National Assembly. They have done their best. Bring all the ethnic nationalities together and table this before them. The power devolution also goes about rotation of presidency, rotation of governorship in the state and the federal level. It's also part of it.
It is part of it.
So if you can bring all the ethnic nationalities and say, okay, this is the two things we think we can move Nigeria forward. Power rotation in state at the federal level and economic resources control. Which way? And they all agree to it and they pass it to National Assembly, and National Assembly also sit on it and say, okay, this is the way to go. It will be more easy. The economy will be more buoyant and everything will be more easy for us. Then we can now take on state governors on accountability and transparency of what they are getting from the resources of the state. But this accountability, but we have limited power to hold them because as it stands, they will tell you that they are still collecting money from federal government.
Yes.
So, but as it stands today, a good suggestion from Seneca is that concentrate on power devolution. And you know, the Nadeco of
so with this
yesteryear.
power devolution, what is actually at play?
What is
Power
at
devolution? How?
What is at play is this. Now, you know, we have issue when PDP and wanted to do their permanent. There was a contention about nominating either for the south or for the north. But what this would do is that it will break that gene. We can now insert in our constitution that every 4 years or every 8 years, you go to the south. When you go to the south, you go to a particular part of the south. In our constitution. The same thing for the north.
This one is not now that we are just using now.
No, normal.
God says,
exactly. And
the north has said, okay, let's do it, okay.
And for me, it is not just to be power devolution to at the federal level alone. And the state also, it will also be done. If you're going to a particular senatorial district in a particular state, which part of that senatorial district, it will be stated in the constitution like that, across, including local government chairman. So when we have the power devolution of how it's going to be, then everybody will rest assured that when it comes to our side, it is from this side of our side. It is from this side of our side, of the side of our side, that this power, local power is going. Then the issue of religion will be cut out. Nobody will be talking about religion, but they will just be, okay, it is coming to this side, then we all have to come together and push forward. That is the power devolution. And again, it will also liberate the local government from the shackles of state governors, because the local government will not have their own power, the executive power they have, and the state council, which is the state councillors ward, who are the legislature of that particular area, will also be able to make law, because as it stands today, councillors are not making law, they are just sitting, collecting sitting allowance, and that's all. But with this power devolution that training suggests, it will go a long way. And if you remember, these are the things of Nadeco of yesterday. These are the things they campaign for. These are the things that Fenifere campaign for, and the rest of those socio-economic organizations across Nigeria. But the power that will make this one more beneficiary is the economic resources control.
Thank you so much for that explanation. It was really insightful. But now, the Constitution also, how do I put it? The Constitution acknowledges 3 tiers of government: local government, state, and federal. How come the local government is not being practiced?
If you check this section,
right there is in the Constitution.
Is there this section?
Then how come it's not being practiced?
This section 2, subsection 3 and 4, where local government is well stated about their function.
Yes.
What killed that particular clause is the conduct of election by state electoral independence. That's what killed
in the Constitution.
Yeah, that what killed. I wish it was stated that there will be an independent electoral commission that will be responsible for conducting state elections, local government elections. State governors will not have power to be saying whatever they want to say. They will not have power to be appointing state electoral commissioners. But what we have is that it is as a result of state governors nominate who is the electoral chairman and nominate all party candidates, and the party in domination in that state takes all.
It takes it all.
So I wish the constitution is well specified.
When they are tired, they just dissolve the council
it and bring caretaker committee, and that's what is happening. But I wish that the constitution can specify and say, okay, on this level of election, it's an independent electoral body. We may not be INEC, it may just be one that will be concentrating on local government election, and that is it. So state governor will not have power over it. Even the federal government will not have power over it. But it will be well specified, and the laws will be stated in it. Because local government is well specified. The way they get their money is well specified. And
but you know, this power devolution is quite a lot. We are even looking at the security
aspect also.
Architecture also. What is going to happen?
Although state police may also come in, but it will come in a way that we may have our own peculiar way, not like the Americans, where they have the FBI and they have state police, they have county police. We may have state police.
Have county police, and your jurisdiction stops
where the crime exists.
Exactly.
Once the person escapes from that place, you don't have power to arrest him. They say you work in consonance with the police. You can also do it here. That when the crime is committed in Abuja, when the person went to Kogi, the police in Kogi will help us work with them and arrest that person.
But see what just happened in the last general election. I'm no longer capacity state police, because I was of the opinion that no, we need state police to tackle all this. But there's a way without state police. Is there no other way they can decentralize it?
The thing is that what during the selection you're talking about will not come the crime committed by a person. It could be a national crime. Like election now, it's a national crime. The police will not have
even in petty crimes like that, or even in crimes, not just petty crimes, all these robbery or killing that. If all the people related to the governor, he's pardoned now.
He's pardoned by this.
Pardoned.
But the thing is, like the FBI American case, you can resort to national law to extradite the judiciary and law. That's why I say we can do our own peculiarity. That okay, if the state police is handling a particular case and it's conflicting with national security, the state police should hand over that case to our national police, and that's how. But what people are afraid is that before the national police will come and do the thing, more damage may have been done, and the evidence may have also been covered, and that's where the people fear. But I also like state police, but just that it must be in consonance with national police, whereby whatever the state police is doing, it must be in respect exactly
to be handled by
national police.
So by and large, what do you think we need, and do you see it coming into play?
It may
because
not
at a time, though the president-elect was up for it restructured, but at the end of the day, when his party came into power, when he was talking with Nadek, when he was in Nadek, they were canvassing for restructuring and not all that. But now, when he joined the APC, it was, I stand by my party. Of course, Buhari body language did not support restructuring. So now that he's the president.
And one good thing about it, the people who are with him are people who believe in restructuring. Talk of Elofai, talk of Bagudu, talk of the rest of the people. There are people who believe in restructuring, and there are people who see future. Because restructuring is a future political dimension in Nigeria. It may not happen in their own lifetime, but when it happens, definitely it's going to happen. So there are people that are with him who believe in that. So I think they may work with him. And majority of the people that are with him are not going to remain in this government. He would remain in his own, be in his own government, because the government that is going now, they will definitely go with them. Talk about the Kaaba, definitely they will go with Buhari. Then a new set of people will come in, and those new set of people are people that see future, who believe in structuring, and they also believe in power devolution, as been said. But the key message still remains that it is all about the interest of the elite. What is their interest in this power devolution we are talking about? Is it that it's going to take away their interest, it's going to limit their interest, or is it going to reduce them to not influence? So they normally look at that. But when they see that, okay, if you give them 50, give them 30, give them 40, they fall into it. But then they that it's going to take away, strip them of their power.
But do you believe that is the way to go, that it will aid the Nigerians' development faster?
For me, it is the best way to go. As a political economist who understand the dynamics of national development, it is a development plan like we have now, 2020, 2021 to 2025. But the state governors are not in it. But when you restructure it, when you talk about national development, everybody key into it, and that's what the way we're supposed to go. So I support restructuring, not just power devolution, but economy resource control also.
Okay. Perhaps now that minerals are being discovered in some of the states, because that's with the fears that how are we going to
cope if it's taken away?
We support
exactly
mineral resource restructuring. So at the end of the day, I think they'll have no choice than to kill.
Not just minerals that have been discovered, the ones that have been discovered many years ago. It will help them, and it also bring investment.
Like for instance, Zamfara has so much. It has gold, it has lead, it has so many
gold and the rest of it. And even the fight they're having with federal government, it won't come in. They will not pay the royalty to federal government, and it will develop the state. Except the governor is a daft one. But if the governor that understands investment opportunity, it will turn the state around.
Definitely. Thank you so much for today. We come to the end of today's program, and therefore, Larry, I want to say that it's always a pleasure to have you on the program with your analysis, your analytical analysis of issues, and I look forward to seeing you same time next week.
Thank you very much.
So, viewers, this is where we end today's Inside Nigeria. Same time, same station tomorrow. It's another day. I remain winning for the football. See you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080 3688 61